Hello, welcome to Tangent, the podcast where stuff happens and we don't care.
Hello. I'm Ronnie.
And I'm Marcus. We are also known as the Quest for Plot.
Yeah, quest, the TQFP, to quif. But yeah, tangents, the explanation on basics, we go off on tangents as much as possible.
Basically what's going to happen is we're going to try to talk about something and then never talk about it again.
For example, Play-Doh. What are your experiences with Play-Doh?
Well, Cecilia's really into it. She's my niece. And I'm just...
Any crazy stories about Play-Doh?
I have a crazy story about something with a Play-Doh
It's a
item.
tangent. Let's go.
My niece, her last birthday, I got her a little bell Play-Doh set. It came with like a castle and bell, and you could like make crazy shapes and stuff. And her dog got a hold of it the day after and tore up Belle's dress. So there was just like a giant chunk, triangle-like thing missing from the front of it. Didn't make Play-Doh that well afterwards.
I bet it wouldn't. Broken things don't tend to do things right.
No. But broken things can be fun, like games.
Yeah, like, for example, Two Worlds. That game, pretty broken, right?
Well, I was actually going to talk about our experience with the Grand Theft Auto Demon Crate.
Oh, yeah, Demon Crate. Oh, God, Demon Crate.
So, in Grand Theft Auto 4, there is this crate located somewhere. It's a shipping crate, a red one, that you can, like, open the doors, but they won't swing open all the way, and you can, like, glitch inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
But if randomly, while you're inside of it, it will decide to throw you everywhere.
It doesn't like when people stand inside of it for a long period of time, so you just have to be patient and stand in it, and it'll start to vibrate, and then it'll start to shake, then it'll start to spasm, and eventually it'll go flying across the map.
It's best when two people... Well, no, because what we thought used to do it was if someone was in it and then another person went into it, it would start doing the vibrating thing.
Mm-hmm.
I remember once I was inside of it and it was vibrating, and then Josh went inside of it and actually stopped, and we were just able to walk around, but we couldn't get out.
I know messing with the doors tends to trigger it faster. Yeah. Like, if you keep playing with the doors. Speaking of doors, remember Lady in Black? Lady in Black.
Oh god, yes. Knock on every door possible. Spam E.
Knocking on doors is really fun.
It is. Doors.
Doors.
Yes.
Wasn't there a game called Doors? I believe there was. I don't remember what the plot was.
I want to look it up now.
Well, we have a computer right there, but I don't know if we want to do that right now.
No, I'll do it. I just keep talking about stuff.
Okay, well... Doors. I think it's a horror game. Well, we found pictures of Doors. Can we pop that up in the middle of the podcast?
Doors. I forgot about that. There's a bunch of applications called Doors where you just like do random stuff to open a door, and it's like those games, dude. Those games start out so simple. Like you literally just tap the door, it opens, and it gets to the point where you have to do things like the Knights, the Knights Tour, which is a famous chess puzzle, and it just gets ridiculous. But the chess puzzle, this is one of my favorite puzzles. The entire point is like, the smallest board you see it done on is a 5x5 board. You put the knight in one place, and you have to get him using the knight's move, which is moving one, an L shape. You have to get him to go on every spot without repeating a spot.
Okay, well, speaking of L's, Death Note, absolutely.
Death Note, yes, Death Note is an amazing show, and the live-action movies are okay. Don't really like the twist they took, and the third one, which is all about L, sucked horribly. It was a bad movie.
Why was it a bad movie?
Because it didn't make sense. Okay, basically what happens is, spoiler alert, in the Death Note movies, it follows it pretty truthfully until the second movie, which ends up having L win, which does not happen in the series. L ends up dying.
Oh.
L wins in the movie by giving his life, writing his name in the notebook, tricking Light into thinking he can win by writing his name in the notebook.
Yeah.
But L went ahead and killed himself 28 days later so that Light couldn't kill him. And then, so Light was punished. And he basically won, and the movie ends with him dying on the couch eating a piece of chocolate, which is actually a really nice way to die. I like it. It's peaceful, and it like summarizes his character perfectly. But the third movie is about what he does in those 28 days, which an outbreak breaks out of some city, and everyone is blowing up and shit, and there's government conspiracy. And so he just works on this case for 28 days and saves a child and then goes and sits on the couch and dies. And there was no point in him doing that in that 28 days. So there was no point.
Okay.
That's the entire movie. There's no reason for it to exist.
Does it sound
It's called
it?
Elle Saves the World.
Did he save the world?
I guess. I liked the way it started, though, because it did capture his character very well. It started with him, because he's obviously the best detective in the world. He started out solving up a bunch of random crimes, just looking at paper like, okay, there's this, and oh, this guy did it. Call him, tell him it happened. And then all of a sudden there's just like an explosion in some building, and people have like Ebola.
Okay. It sounds like it makes perfect sense.
It does. I haven't seen that movie in forever, and I'm glad.
Let's watch it right now.
I don't think I have that one. I only have the first two. Oh, excuse me.
So how do you like Monster?
Monster. What is Monster? The energy drink?
Yes.
Meh.
I
I thought we were going to talk about stuff saving the world.
Oh.
What is your favorite example of someone saving the world?
Any Dungeons & Dragons campaign.
Any Dungeons and Dragons campaign. Could something as simple as killing a goblin be considered saving the world then?
If that goblin somehow would have chain reaction, or if you had reason to believe it could have, like if it could have caused some chain reaction.
So that standard thing where goblins are attacking the village, go into this cave, kill the Goblin King, and you win.
That's the most overused thing. Like, I'm not even joking. Every campaign has that kind of thing where it's just like, even if it's a side quest. Oh, good, goblins. There are leaders in there. Go kill it.
Speaking of commonly used things, because I was just watching the Extra and Vav video, and commonly used things, of course, hey, who's driving this thing? Crash. Everything ever, when you're in a vehicle, the person who's driving leaves, someone always says, hey, who's driving this thing, and then it crashes.
It doesn't crash until they say that.
Exactly. Why?
Some ghost is like driving until he hears that key word when he know, like maybe it's something that only exists until it's pointed out.
Only exists until it's pointed out.
Like basically something else takes his place and drives it until it's brought to light that nothing should be there, and because nothing should be there, it no longer exists, so it crashes.
I guess. See, one of my favorite renditions of that though is in Anchorman 2, because it makes more sense the way they did it. The person in the front who was driving the car or trailer, I don't remember what they were driving. I think it was an RV. Who was driving the RV goes back and they're talking about stuff with all this like dangerous stuff. Like one's holding a bowling ball, one has like a box of scorpions, just to make it more comedic when it crashes. But one of them says, "Who's driving this thing?" Doesn't crash yet. Someone says, "Oh, it's okay. I put it on cruise control." And they're like, "I don't think that's how it works." And then it crashes. So it brought some sense to it.
Yeah. So teddy bears.
Teddy bears.
I saw a teddy bear.
Okay, you could have just gone off of what I was saying.
Complete tangent.
Complete tangent. Tangent touches on a subject. That's like a circle. You learned this in geometry, freshman year.
No.
Well, no, I had geometry freshman year. You probably had it sophomore year.
I don't know.
Years. High school. No, but a tangent, the way we learned it in geometry was the example of there's a circle, a line goes and touches one single point on it, and then it just continues on forever. The tangent touches on one point and goes off in a completely different direction. That's what a tangent is.
Nah.
You did not touch on a point.
Nah.
This is no longer Tangent Podcast. This is Random Shit Podcast.
Why not?
Okay.
Fine. How do we link teddy bears? What you talking about?
Well, I just linked it to it
Let's
because you
move
were
backwards.
not doing tangent.
Let's move backwards. How do we link a teddy bear to what you just said?
About tangents?
No. Before that.
The RV?
Yeah.
The movie RV was about a dick dad, not really much of a dick. He was trying to do balancing family and work, which is a great conflict in a lot of movies. But then his daughter, I think, was a bitch. But it was a daughter, and daughters like fluffy things. And teddy bear. There you go. I win.
Successful teddy bear transition.
Golden teddy bears.
Golden teddy bear. Golden Freddy.
I was actually gonna go with the Golden Graham teddy bear crackers.
No, I was
Golden
going-
Freddy. If you want to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's and how much I hate that game,
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. I know pretty much all the lore now because internet has exploded. They
Yeah.
figured it out. They cracked the code.
game theory.
Not just game theory. Like a lot of people have been talking a lot about FNAF.
We'll wait until the third one comes out.
Yeah, then everyone's just gonna go.
I bet he's just gonna I bet the creator's just looking at it like, oh, these people really like it. Wait, they're figuring out my stuff. How can I change this? And he's just going back and trying to change everything in the third one to make it completely different. Because that make perfect sense.
He's trying to find a way to like. He was originally going down one path. He saw everyone like predicted the ending, so I was like, I need to take a turn.
Yeah, he's like, okay, I need to surprise everyone.
Left turn. And another left turn.
NASCAR. Left turn is all the way.
Oh no, a right turn, and everyone crashed.
You know, that's one of the things that I like. Sports, right?
Sports.
They're one of the things that I don't like watching. I don't see why people like watching it. Playing them is okay sometimes, but when it comes to video games, I pretty much hate the sports games because they never change.
Yeah.
However, the racing games, depending on how they're done, are so good. Plus, they're so diverse. I mean, football, you can only really go one way.
Yeah.
You're in a stadium playing football. Racing games go from, like, running from the cops and shit to just going in a circle and being a NASCAR driver. There's even ones where you just shoot people.
I have to say that there is one other game type that I've ever seen someone put a twist on, and that's baseball. There was a game that put like so many twists on it. Like you could you were allowed to use tactic in a way of like you could beam players over and over again to like wither them down basically to fatigue them.
So hardcore baseball.
It was like
It's like underground.
But like one of the best things is when you pitch, you get to like physically pitch, and if you do a perfect one, the ball's like on fire and stuff.
What the fuck?
It's so insane.
It sounds like the oh god,
There's
that makes me
no
think
way.
of the Nicktoons baseball thing and how bad that was.
There's no way. Like I've had an AI set to like the hardest difficulty. They always throw flaming like baseballs.
Does it like sear you if it hits you? Do you like catch fire?
No, but if you actually hit a flaming baseball, I've hit it once ever. It's not possible. You have to swing as soon as it leaves his hand. Like as soon as you see him, like right about there, like right as it's about to let go, you have to press the button to swing.
Do you know that it's a perfect? Do you know that it's a perfect pitch when he does that? Or?
The second he presses the button, you'll see his hand light on fire, and then it'll go.
So as soon as you see it light on fire, you have to do it.
Pretty much. Because it's so fucking fast. But if you hit it, you break your bat, and then it just goes automatic home run. Yeah, there's no question about it. It's out of the stadium every time. I've had the AI set to hardest when I threw a flaming ball. Every single time on
You
hardest.
realize how much that would hurt, right? If a projectile that small had enough force and momentum to just break your bat. I understand the deflection, and if you deflected it that well, breaking your bat, I guarantee your hands are broken.
Yeah.
That is too much force. Your hands are gone.
But I just love how it's always a home run no matter what.
You're gonna need like tons of reconstructive surgery.
He's just like, put his hands in there, just limp, and he's just running around doing the run.
The whatever you just did looked like something from a horror game. It makes me think of all those bad Slender remakes. Where you just put your hands above your head. Oh, now I'm something scary. I'll chase you. Rawr.
I love geranium jump scares and those kind of games. Just, no, okay.
See, that's the thing. Like, I've already explained this to you, but horror games are not for me most of the time because they are random jump scares, which don't scare me for some reason. It's all about the suspense. That's what scares me. If there's no suspense, I don't get scared.
Speaking of bad horror games, Lost Planet 3. While they changed the formula, they changed
Wait, Lost Planet's supposed to be a horror game?
It behaves like one. Like one of the situations, it felt like I was playing Dead Space, but it wasn't scary at all because I've been desensitized to Dead Space. Thank you. You probably overloaded the mic. Everyone's going to be deaf now.
I'm sorry. They had to know what I was doing.
But Lost Planet 3, it feels like a horror game, but badly done. It's like they're trying to build suspense, but screeching violins does not make it scary. That's pretty much
They're screeching violins.
You know that? It's like, this isn't spooky. It's just annoying.
That makes me think of like bad soundtracks. Like, everyone's played that game where there's just a soundtrack that does not make sense. Like you were talking about earlier in Far Cry 3, the burndom thing.
Yeah, whereas
Whenever
dubstep.
you're burning down a warehouse full of, like, weed and it just starts playing that.
Yeah, it felt like I needed to rush them and not use stealth, even though you doing stealth was the best way to deal with that situation. Because once I actually tried to use stealth, I did it at first try. But every other time when I was trying to rush, dead.
Because of the music. So you would say the music probably did not go with that.
No. Like, when I finally did it, I tried to do it in a way where the music still made sense. So I was, like, doing rush stealth, where I just kind of rush and people, die! Run away.
Stealth games, though. I want to finish playing that game, the indie game, Path of Shadows.
Yeah. But,
were you trying to think of what it was?
No, I had a huge... You need to get Tenchu Z.
Tenchu, I want
that
to.
stealth game.
How
oh
much
my
is
god,
it?
rush stealth.
I think you guys got it for like $8.
It was cheap.
Okay.
It's cheap.
I might have to just go to GameStop tomorrow and get that.
I don't know if they have a copy though. It's old.
It's old, ooh. Yeah.
It's really old, and the graphics feel like they should be in a PS2.
But how was that game a stealth game? The way you kept describing it was just like, okay, we're gonna go beat these guys up, and you just confuse the AI and run past everything.
I'm too fast. They can't react fast enough. I'm stealthy, but I'm too fast, so I don't need stealth anymore. I was originally had to be stealthy. If I wasn't stealthy, I can't kill them. I still can't kill them if they spot me. But the problem is they can't spot me because I'm moving faster than the AI can register me.
Too fast. Sanic.
I've literally had people. I usually have about 5 detections when the match ends.
Yeah.
But I still get every single kill a stealth kill. You know how?
No, I don't understand at all. What is it? Just any backstab counts as stealth?
If you can grab them, that counts as a stealth kill. You can't grab them unless you're stealth. But the reason why is because they technically, although they've triggered detection, you can still stealth kill them until they draw their sword.
Okay.
The second they draw your sword, you can no longer stealth kill them. But I move so quickly, they
ever put
cannot
their
do
swords
it
away?
fast enough. What do you mean? Like after you alert them?
Yeah.
If you hide.
So then you can stealth kill them again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only if you hide, though. And that you can get 2 detections against the same guy.
I now know how to get 100% in that game. Just put everything to speed, run around, kill everything with their sword.
Also beat the game. Like on single player. Only the important missions. No? Yeah, only the important missions. Like any mission that has like a sign or something in the background,
yeah,
you have to do it.
Okay.
Usually they won't let you advance. No, all of them. Only the sign ones, like, because all the other ones are optional. Everything with a sign behind it is not. You can't advance till you do it.
That's weird. Not really weird. Like, I understand story missions, so the other ones are like optional. What do you get for doing them? Do you like get gold, and buy
money,
upgrades?
skills, more kills towards the ultimate their ultimate their ability?
Okay, so basically what you're saying is
The
money.
The ability you unlock 2 abilities. One of them I don't remember what it does. The other one is lurk. If you max it from what I read from a game guide, you are undetectable.
Completely?
Apparently, unless you physically run into somebody, you are invisible.
So you can walk in front of them and just like stare at them and they won't notice you.
Supposedly. Either that or they're very slow to detect you because it says you're hard to notice. That's the first description for the first upgrade.
Okay.
You're even harder to notice is the second one. And then the third one just says it again. You're even harder to notice. However, the game guide put in parentheses next to it, because I was reading a game guide on how to play it, basically.
Yeah.
In parentheses, it said undetectable.
Okay.
I was just like, okay, well, that would go great with my speed.
You really just run past everything and win. I assume that doesn't stop boss battles.
Bosses, they count as always alert.
Okay.
They count as if they constantly detect you.
So no way to stealth kill them.
No, I've tried, which sucks for me. I have to knock them in water or just accept death. Or loop them somehow. Because what I've done one time is I looped them into, kept knocking them down, stab them on the ground, dash back, knock them back down, stab them on the ground, dash back, knock them down.
So, fighting a sliding, spinning dubstep dragon.
Yep.
Okay.
Sliding spinning dubstep dragon from 2 Worlds.
Which I still want to play so much right now.
It's
That game's broken. I really wish I had recording software back then.
Yeah, that'd been great.
So, 2 Worlds. One of the worst games of all time.
It's so awful, but it's the multiplayer. It makes up for it in multiplayer.
Well, the multiplayer is still bad. It's just having fun with your friends on a bad game.
Fun.
And
Two Worlds 2 made huge improvements.
yeah, Two Worlds 2 is fucking amazing. I really wish they would make a Two Worlds 3 and just like just make a game with the magic system. The magic system is so much fun.
Yeah, that was like the most. Once we discovered that, all of us wanted to be mages because it was just like, wow, this is actually really cool. We can make our own spells and we can mix and match.
Yeah, and like just expand upon it. See, that was the first game that actually got me attracted to playing mages. Like every game I play now, and you know this.
Didn't you play a mage first? Like that was the first
you guys made me play a mage because Josh you were the ranger. Josh was the paladin guy, and so you guys like, oh, you have to be a mage, and I was like, fine, I'm being a necromancer then, because those are like the only cool things. Necromancer is like one of the worst classes in the mage system for that one, but
not necessarily. Well, okay, maybe. But
but that game, I used to hate playing mages beforehand. Every game I play now, I always go for mage first, just because I really want to find a magic system like that or better than that. That is like my life's journey right now.
That game did do the magic system amazingly. Like everything else is like, meh, it's okay, it's good, it's fun, but the mage, there's nothing that beats that. Like I played on an online game, and I was like, okay, well, who are these people? Looked through them. Every last one of them was a mage.
Yeah.
And it was like 5 people. And I was just like, mage.
But I think if they made a sequel, which I really, really want them to. Who made this game?
That's
Southpeak.
1. I don't know if the same people made 2.
They probably did. If they made a new game, my 2 requests would be expansion on magic system. And I don't care if everything else is the same, because everything else was average. It wasn't necessarily bad, but expansion on magic system and make the multiplayer more like the first one. Make it open world. Don't have you do
open world,
because you only get 5 quests as multiplayer, and it's too repetitive to keep doing.
They don't really give you branching paths or choices or anything. It's just the last one. That's it.
Yeah,
the last mission where it's just like you have the 4 crystals to destroy. Go crazy.
Yeah, but every other one is literally just like, okay.
Point A, point B, go.
Yeah, point A, point B. You have a couple different paths to choose from. See, that's an example of, like, linear. Like I was talking to you earlier, I don't like the linear gameplay. But it's not too linear because you still have multiple ways you can get around, even though it's pretty straightforward. But Sacred 3 is just linear. There's no choices. Fun. It's just you go forward, fight an enemy, go forward, fight an enemy, go forward, fight an enemy. Oh, hey, look, a bridge, fight an enemy. And then you're done.
It's fun, though.
Okay, sure.
The combat mechanics are what make it for me, because it's just so much fun to, like, just press, like, with a single press of a button, so many hits. Well, that's for I haven't tested any of the other characters. I just tested the one with the spear, because it was just like, I was like, sure, you look like you might have a summon later on. That was literally my entire...
That's your logic.
Yes, I didn't care about anything else. I wanted a summon. And that was before I knew it was linear. But now I know it's linear, the chances of having a summon are very, 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 very low. But yeah, like, one of the things I love, that I've said many times, my 2 favorite things in games, mind control and summoning. I don't know what it is. Those 2 things make me love it.
Summoning is just something I think is attractive to everyone. Mind control, I think, is just a you thing.
I just don't know. I love having enemies turn on themselves. That's my favorite thing. It's from, like, childhood. I love making enemies, like, fight.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty fun. I think the appeal for that one, because I think I used to like that one too, but there's just too much drawback. My favorite thing about that was thinking that, and in a couple of games this has happened, but my appeal to it was, I can control enemies. I can make a boss fight its minions.
Yeah, that's my favorite
That was my appeal. I've only seen a couple games that actually let me do that, though.
Quake, one of the Quakes. If you enter the code, which is basically just Q, you can control the game and you can turn off their AI. They only fight you if you shoot them first. So what I always do is I'd, like, pick, like, the strongest monster and, like, I'd, like, get a whole bunch of weaker monsters mad and make them hit by going behind it and make them hit the stronger monster and then see who wins. The group of weakers or the strong one.
I'm assuming it's normally the group of weakers.
Honestly, no. Like, it was kind of random. It's like a coin flip kind of thing.
Oh, shit.
Although they do get a first hit on it, so usually that kind of, like, factors in. I've actually made one of the bosses, one of his things, I think he, like, summoned stuff, but because his AI was off, he just kind of summoned it and just kind of fell to the floor and just sat there. So
You made me mad.
he doesn't fight me
now
either.
I'm gonna sit down.
He just like he just like sits in the center of the room, just.
That just weird him. He was just tired. He's an old man. He just wants to sit down and summon people.
He's just not doing anything else. What I did is I like waited until he summoned enough of them, shot them all, and like got them to hit him. So he was like fighting a bunch of his minions and still summoning more that were just like and just sat in the center of the room, and then sometimes got accidentally hit by one of the two.
Yes.
But yeah, I did cause an entire room to like go up in flames because I was just like one of the enemies like a shotgun or whatever.
Yeah.
And I made two of those things fight, and there's like a whole bunch of other enemies in the room, and they kept hitting other enemies, and those enemies start firing at them, and they hit other enemies, it just caused a whole room to start fighting. That was like the favorite thing to do. Just wait till the whole room fight.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun things you can do with console commands. I think my favorite set of console commands still are probably in Skyrim. Just the wagon. Shit you can do. The wagon at the beginning is like the best, but I still think my favorite thing was the synchronization where because you did this with me, if I remember correctly. But we suffered through that long-ass wagon scene. Mm-hmm. I think we watched our character change stuff, too. Like, as we were customizing your character, we went out of body and watched him just change and shit.
What do you mean?
Like, you get the option to make your character and everything while the guard's looking at you. And I think we went into console commands while doing that and changed the camera view so we could look at ourselves while we were going through the menu. Like, out of body. Like,
well, you already do that, though.
No, I mean, like, you could go and fly behind the executioner guy and just watch this person change all his shit. That might have just been me by myself. But that's not the point I was talking about. I just started thinking of that. But we made the executioner like 600 times his height. And when he chops off the guy's head, he just hits a building behind you. And the guy's head flies off. And everything shakes too because of the dragon at the perfect timing. Like, as the guy's head falls off and the executioner hits the building, everything shakes as though the executioner was shaking everything.
I know one of the things. I tried to / kill Alduin. Didn't work.
Yeah. You tried to control him too, didn't you?
Yeah, I tried to turn into him.
You ended up becoming a fox and then making yourself, like, a molecule of dirt. You just changed your size to nothing and started running around.
The enemies couldn't hit me, though.
I know, it was hilarious.
I was too fast and too small.
I'd like to turn an orc into that size and see him do his grab attack on you.
The...
Or not an orc, a giant? They were giants, right?
What do you...
The guys who, like, are out in the field with the mammoths.
Yeah, they're giants.
Yeah, I would like to see a giant do that grab attack on you while he's just tiny.
What giant? Like, what grab attack, I mean? Not what giant.
They would, like, go up to you and they would... I think it was a grab attack.
I don't think...
They would, like, grab you or whatever and, like, hit you on the ground and you would just go flying up.
No, they just hit you with a hammer.
That was it? They just hit you with a hammer into the ground.
Yes, that was the hammer. That was the... Sorry, it was hammer time.
The hammer time. Okay.
That's what people like to call it.
I would like to see him do that while tiny.
You still go flying. People have proven that. It like you can be like a molecule and you'll just go bink.
You won't even see him. You won't see him coming. He'll just go flying out of nowhere.
Yes. Exactly what happens. You're just walking and suddenly
that's like the best minigame you could do. If Skyrim had multiplayer, or I think by the way, someone did do a modification where you could do multiplayer, but it was like really complicated.
But I wanted to say that it only works if you die. Like you have to die from the hit, and it has to do I think it has to do so much damage past your like when you died, and then you'll just go. I know that system because Oblivion had a strange system. If you dealt enough damage for some reason, because like this was proven, the more damage you deal, the more knockback it has. So one of the things that someone did, they maxed the damage on it to where like it's impossibly high.
Gravity hammer.
Every time you hit somebody, they just disappear. Like it lagged for a second, and they just go, bink, gone. Like you'd see like a texture glitch for a second. You'd see kind of.
No, but I think one of the fun things to do if like you could multiplayer Skyrim, get like 8 of your friends into a box, summon or create like 16, 24 of the giants, and just make them so tiny you can't see them. Then everyone runs around. Last person alive wins, and everyone else is just like flies out of the ring.
Smash Bros.
Because you won't see them. You'll just randomly die.
Get the Smash Bros mod. I'm sure it exists. So like every time they fly out of the ring, you see
That would be awesome. We need to do that. Everyone has a hammer, and you can't.
No, you
see
just hear
them.
that music the entire time.
And run. I think the best tactic would probably be jump and stay in the air as long as you can, because they won't be able to reach
Speaking
you.
of staying in the air, the Castlevania HD, that Medusa head ability, right?
Oh,
Just
God.
hover in midair. Fuck the Medusa.
That game. Oh my god.
It's fun, but it's just like
Hey, Konami, make another one. Make another multiplayer one. That was fun.
they said they're not going to do it again.
I don't care. They're going to. They're going to, or when they sell the rights, the person who owns the rights next will. But I like that game, but I don't like that game. I feel like it'd be so much better if there was an actual leveling system. I don't like the idea of just buying loot because, as you saw, my problem with playing Catherine? I don't remember the name. Was I could not...
Charlotte?
Charlotte. I could not buy anything from the shop that would help me, ever. There was only one item I ever got after the entire campaign that I actually wanted to use.
Honestly, what's his name? The guy I was playing. Soma, yeah.
Yeah?
Soma, he has the best thing you can buy. It's just a straight up rocket launcher. There's nothing fancy about it. It's just a rocket launcher.
Yep.
I love that. It costs so much though.
I just wish there was a leveling system or more items.
The real thing that bugs me about that though. You know how it took me forever to get the money to buy the rocket launcher?
Yeah.
After I bought it, the second I bought it, I started selling things. Immediately got enough to buy it again, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
No, yeah, like I don't see why it was so hard for you to get that, because we played for maybe a total of 4 hours just grinding off of shit. I just sold everything at one point and I was halfway there. Then the next thing we played, went back, sold everything, and I had enough for it.
Well, I think that was on hard, right?
Yeah. But you were playing hard online with other people.
I wasn't really I didn't really play that many matches, to be honest. I was just like I played for a while. It was...
Although, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but the reason I think that happened with me, though, was my insane luck.
Yeah, that might be it.
Because I pulled it up to 32, and I want to get it higher, and you just get so many good...
I think that what it is luck affects the value of what you get.
It doesn't affect the value. It affects...
By that I mean...
It affects the rarity.
But yeah, rarer things tend to be more valuable. I think what I'm saying is the things I get, because I have a 4 or 3 or something like that, I get low tier stuff that's only valued at 1,000 and ATC.
Luck does not increase what you get, it increases the chances of getting it. So I have, and it's not, I don't remember how I read it. It was you have the common, uncommon, rare, ultra rare, and I can increase my rarity or my chances of all of those. But then there's 3 other things that are very hard to get where I don't even affect it with luck. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just increasing my chance of getting the ultra rare and hoping that I either get those or the ones above it.
What kind of things were on the above?
I don't remember. I think the God thing was one. Because it just increased everything. And the only reason I brought my luck down is because I had something that gave me +8 luck. That would be unequipped.
But, yeah. Tangent. Let's see. Where can we go from here? How long have we been recording?
33 minutes.
Okay, we need more.
See, I told you it was easy after we get into it. No signal.
No what?
I don't know.
No signal?
Oh, excuse me.
No signal.
I actually had something I wanted to talk about. I don't remember it, though. Dracula.
Dracula?
The final boss. As well as the Scythe guy.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite thing is the person is to absorb attacks, but just thinking about Dracula, I love the ways he's been portrayed in media is my favorite thing ever. There's so many different ways. I think one of my favorites, though, is in the Librarian Judas Chalice movie. Because he's seen as a historian throughout the entire movie, and then he just, goes, gets the Judas Chalice, which is the Holy Grail for vampires, gets the blood in it, drinks it, and now he's just all-powerful, even though he was supposedly crippled beforehand, and he just, takes a sip of blood out of the Judas Chalice, and now he's just, fucking badass.
Okay.
And he was just a historian before. It was, the best...
I would also like to point out...
I just like it.
In that boss battle, they kind of break the logic of what Dracula does in that game for Symphony of the Night solely, because he's clearly based off Symphony of the Night. Everything he does is pulled straight out of it. However, in the Richter Belmont fight, he has 2 forms. It's the first one you saw, And the second one you saw. The
Yes.
third one did not happen until Alucard fight him. However, Alucard, he did not turn into a second form. He skipped straight from 1 to 3.
Okay.
Which kind of bugs me a little bit. I don't know why, it just does.
What does it seem like? This might just be because we played online, but it seems like his third form is the easiest form.
Well, all he does is slap you, use triangles, and nuke.
His first form seems like the hardest one just because of when he uses lava pillars and fireballs.
Yeah, he didn't do that in Castlevania Symphony of the Night. He never did that. That never happened. I don't think there's a single game in that series where he does that. Including the Pillars of Fire. I've never seen him use Pillars of Fire. Ever.
I don't know. Fire magic is a dangerous thing.
Fire magic. You're a halfling.
Yes.
In the
halfling
video you're
wizard
probably
for some
watching right
reason.
now.
Actually, yeah, this is the video they're watching. I'm a halfling wizard for whatever goddamn reason, and I can use fire magic. Fire magic is fun.
That bugs me so much.
Yeah,
Halflings are supposed to be rogues, elves are supposed to be mages.
I don't know if we've ever talked about this in a video, but we play role-playing games.
Yeah, a lot.
Like, one of our favorites is Pathfinder, and then we've been playing D&D 5.0 encounters at a local shop. A halfling should not be a fucking wizard.
It shouldn't.
It really shouldn't. And a dwarf should not be a cleric.
Well, no. Well.
No, just no. You're not going to waste that strength bonus on a cleric.
Don't they get con, though?
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure dwarves get con.
I think they get con and strength.
I thought
But still, like, cleric, you either want to go with constitution and intelligence, or you want to go with strength and intelligence, depending on how you want to play them.
What did they take a hit on? Was it...
They take a hit on... I think they do get a hit on intelligence. Or it's charisma. I think it might be charisma.
I'm pretty sure it's charisma, because I remember their description was like gruff or something like that. And
I don't
it's
know.
like...
I haven't played a dwarf since we first started playing Pathfinder.
Tangents. Just reminded you what the name of this thing is.
Yes.
But, yeah. Dwarves, they're weird. Well, I guess they do live underground, and like everything that lives underground, except for Drow, take a hit on charisma, pretty much. I don't get why Drow take a bonus. They're just really... they can convince you to be their slave.
Yeah, what was that one class we always argued about?
Class?
Because you could... No, race, I'm sorry. You kept saying it was called something else, and you kept describing it as a goblin, but not a goblin, and I kept saying it's a hobgoblin, and you're like, no, it's this, and I'm like, no, it's a hobgoblin. You are describing a hobgoblin. But you said the only difference between them was their, like, relationship with some other race.
I don't remember.
So they were hobgoblins, except they hated, like, elves or something.
It was something very specific. I don't remember. I was looking it up, and it's been a while. I think I told you, and like you were like, oh, okay. And I thought you were talking about this, and we had that whole spiel that we always go through, where it's like, oh, I thought you were talking about this, and it's like, oh, no.
But we ended up coming to the conclusion that they were hobgoblins, except for one thing.
Yeah.
Which is stupid. Why would you make a different race that's exactly the same as another race except for one trait?
Snirfleblin. Fuck, Michael.
Cipherblins?
The deep gnomes.
The mushroom men?
The deep gnomes. They're deep gnomes.
They're hobgoblins.
They are gnomes, but they live underground. That's the only
They are
thing.
hobgoblins. This is how it started. They are hobgoblins, gnomes that live underground.
Wasn't that... Wait, isn't that what we were talking about?
I think it was. You were saying, like, they're like gnomes but hide underground, and you started describing gnomes, and I was like, okay, so they're hobgoblins. Like, no, they are gnomes that live underground. So you're describing hobgoblins.
No. They're Snirfleblins. They don't like gnomes, though.
Those are the little blue mushroom men, right? I think that's what they're
Yeah,
called.
I believe so.
Yeah, the Cipherblins.
Stop saying it so fast.
Cipherblins. I believe that's how you pronounced it.
I thought it was a Snirfleblin.
Snirfleblin. I'll type it like that if you want.
I don't think...
It actually got it. Yeah.
Snirfneblin.
Spherfidneblin. Spherfidneblin. Okay, how do you say this? Wikipedia. What is
Dear
this?
readers, they want you to pay them.
No, fuck you.
That's literally what it is.
Sneer. Oh my god, that's not. The description doesn't help.
Let me look at it.
Souvenir. Because the part I'm having trouble with is the SVIRF, and it's just saying, oh, you pronounce that SVIRF. And then the rest of it is easy. Zvirf? Zvirfneblin?
Zvirfneblin.
I get. That's so weird to say.
Ask the creators of Dungeons and Dragons, or no, Pathfinder.
I don't know.
What are deep dwarves?
Deep dwarves?
They're deep. They're slavers apparently. They're basically everything that lives underground is slavers. I don't get that. Oh, you live underground? You take slaves. Because drow.
No, I think you told me about those before. They're like, you told me that there was a big difference between mountain dwarves and other dwarves, but then you said there were like two types of mountain dwarves because there's the ones that will go outside and then there's ones that completely hate everything outside.
Wait, what?
Because like depending on the type of, like the terrain of the dwarf can affect the way you play them. And mountain dwarves are more of industrialized and everything. But they'll go outside. But then you said there's like dwarves that stay underground and hate everything outside and just hate everything.
That's
and you said that
deep,
basically
deep dwarfs.
Yeah, you said that was basically a branch of mountain dwarf that just don't want to go outside.
I believe that in their history, basically, they used to be hill dwarves, but they were just like, I don't like you.
Yeah, I don't like you. Shut door, lock it, bye.
And they never came out from underground.
Did you say they were like obsessed with gold?
I think so.
Yeah, I think that makes sense then.
They're obsessed with gold. They hate everything.
They're just
going to
mine everything that's gold.
They take slaves for some reason, including
you said they
other
hated dwarves that went outside, right?
Yeah, if you went outside, you're pretty much not supposed to come back.
If you come back, you're a slave.
Pretty much, or dead. One of the two. Pretty much drow logic. Oh, you went up to the surface. We don't like you
unless you become a spider then.
Yeah, if you come back as a drider, we will worship you. But like literally, they will worship you.
Hey, what's up, bitches? You banished me.
It's like
now I'm all high and mighty.
They'd just be like, "Fuck."
Ah, god damn it! Come to my place for dinner.
Like, for example, I made a lawful evil drow. For some reason, I forgot the name already.
Yeah,
but basically the basis that I based him off of was he does everything a drow shouldn't. Pretty much, he is hated by other drow. He
was adopted.
He doesn't care about their cult at all. He actually doesn't really care about going to server. In fact, he kind of likes to, even though he is kind of blinded by the light. Blinded by the light. But anyways. He doesn't care about anything except money at all. He doesn't seem like... He doesn't take slaves. He doesn't really care about slaves. It's kind of like an thing for him.
Yeah. Hey, slavery. Yeah.
I'm not against it. I'm not against it, but I'm not for it. But
do what you're gonna do. Do what you were raised to do.
As long as it gets me money. But yeah, my character probably would take a slave to get him money, but you know. Basically, he does not care. He is purple skin, so he's a light skin. No one likes it. In drow culture, a light skin is like a no.
Unless you're a drider.
Yeah, if you're a drider, you're fine.
I am a completely white albino drider. I worship you.
They would just be very confused. They'd like half bow. They're just like, should we go all the rest of the way down? What do we do? Should we hate it?
Do we like this? I think we need to take a vote.
So he's light skinned. He's short. He's short, very lightweight. He's just pretty much everything that he shouldn't be.
See, the thing is, you're getting too attached to this character. I remember the first time you made it, you were just like, hey, drows hate everything. I'm going to make a drow that's the exact opposite of a drow. And now you're just getting too attached to it.
I've started to flesh him out. What can I say? Like Oust. I fleshed him out a little bit. Yeah,
Cherry. Oh my god, Cherry.
My creation, that was a joke, but not
now we made an entire religion around it.
Oh god. The cult of the
we're
Great
talking
Bard.
too much about Pathfinder tangents.
Okay, yeah, tangents.
Cherry. So,
how do you like that bard over there?
Bards.
When did you get that chair?
Oh, bards, the Great Bard, Shakespeare.
The Great Bard. Oh yeah, that's a good tangent.
Yeah, Shakespeare. That's literally what I thought of when you started saying bard. Was just hey, Shakespeare. Because I kind of want to read The Tempest again. I just read it, but I want to read it again.
What is
so good?
What is it?
The Tempest is a story about a duke who gets dethroned and banished to an island with his daughter, and then gets revenge by doing a bunch of mystical stuff and studying books and becoming an awesome mage. And the big thing about it is there's two types of Shakespearean plays. There's tragedies and comedies.
Yeah.
The Tempest is considered a comedy because nobody dies, but it's written like a tragedy.
So it's a tragedy?
Tragomedy? It might be. And it's actually very,
Comagity?
very good.
A comagity.
One of my favorite things, though, is like, the guy Prospero, which is the mage, the main guy in the story, is doing a banquet or something for his daughter's wedding, and basically almost gets killed. Except he does what no other Shakespearean guy does. Before he gets killed, he's like, wait, I should probably do this to protect myself. So he does it and lives.
Oh, okay.
He does the obvious thing. But the obvious thing is really stupid, too, because all he does is, like, the people who are coming after him, he distracts them by putting out fancy, colorful clothes that hypnotize them, air quotes.
What?
Yep. And then as soon as
he must be some kind of wizard.
He is. They start putting him on, and then, like, dog spirits start chasing them.
What the fuck?
That was a really, like, what the fuck scene.
That's like the Sheogorath quest from Oblivion.
Yeah, exactly.
As well as the Sheogorath quest
Let's
from
slip the
Skyrim.
dogs of war.
What?
But yeah, that's a very good one. Also, from everything I've seen, it's very famous because it is written as though Shakespeare's writing about himself as Prospero. Which is done very... Okay.
I'll check the time.
Okay, we're doing good. Written as Prospero, which is okay. I mean, I can see it. It makes sense, but that's not the reason I like it so much. One of the best things about it is all the stuff he did, because obviously back in those times you didn't have good special effects. He wrote how he did everything with special effects, and he wrote his stage directions and everything so well and detailed in it that the performances you see nowadays are almost exactly like they were back then because of how well he wrote it and how detailed he put everything. Every other play, you have, like, variances on it. Like, Taming of the Shrew, the ending speech can be taken as sarcastic or serious. But he just wrote The Tempest so detailed that you see it exactly how he wanted it to be.
Like, so he was trying to make a point.
It was really good.
It seems like that.
It was the last play he wrote by himself. He wrote, I think, 3 other plays before he died, because he wrote that one 2 years before he died. And then he wrote, like, 3 other plays with other people, but that was the last one he wrote by himself. That was the last true Shakespearean play.
The Last of Us.
Which is an amazing story with sub-gameplay. It's above average gameplay, I guess.
Have you tried hitting people in the head with bottles?
Yes. I've only played it once, and that was during a setup thing at GameStop. But I played enough that I got a look at the gameplay, and I think it varies enough that I'd say I like the gameplay more than Halo, and it's about on par with Assassin's Creed, maybe a bit more.
I still don't get why you don't like that. It's repetitive, but it's fun. It's satisfying.
I don't see it as satisfying. I don't see anything repetitive as satisfying. I can't do anything repetitive unless it's done right.
Like, I have the problem of, like, I guess this is where our opinions differ.
Opinions don't exist.
Shut up.
There's only fact.
Our opinions differ because, like, when I play a game, like, you may find satisfaction in having a frustrating thing and having to do it, like, not necessarily over and over again and trying, well, yeah, doing it over and over again, but having to try something new to try to get past it. When you finally figure that out, you're like, I did it.
That's not what I mean when I say repetitive gameplay.
I mean, like, challenge-wise. I'm talking about, like, when you're faced with a challenge.
Not necessarily what I mean, but I see what you're saying.
But
and that is something I enjoy sometimes, but it really depends on how the developers handle it again. Because there were, like, points in Dark Souls where you would really enjoy the challenge, but then there were other ones where you're like, what the fuck is this? Or just why?
But when I get through it, I still hold on to that frustration. It's just who I am. For some reason, I can't let it go. So it's like I'm done.
Let it go.
So, like, I beat it. I finally beat it. Sure, I may act happy, but the inside of me, I'm like, I hate that section. I never want to.
So you'd rather just do the same thing for an entire 8 hours and get a story?
Yes, like, because, like, there's something satisfying about, like, Shadow of Mordor. It feels satisfying because, like, once you figure it out, it's super easy, and you basically just, like, for example, everyone has a weakness. Once you find that weakness, or find the best weakness or way to exploit that weakness, because a lot of times it's not clear how you're supposed to exploit it, but once you do, something's just satisfying about it, because it's just like, once you do that, it's like, you don't stand a chance.
See, that's the stuff I don't like. I don't like it being too easy. Which
is
where the repetitive gameplay comes in. Because every Halo game... Halo's like my perfect example of repetitive gameplay. Because every Halo game, it's like, okay, your objectives may differ, but you handle the enemies the same way every time. Because either they're in front of you and you're stealthing, you're assaulting, or they're ambushing. And each way there's a way to handle it. The only time it ever changes in the last couple stages where they just do random stuff, it seems, most of the time, to throw you off guard. And so you're basically just doing the same thing for 6 hours to get what is an incredible story. Halo has an incredible story. But the gameplay, I just can't handle doing the same thing over and over again. That's the reason I don't get into online multiplayer like Call of Duty. If I play 3 matches, I'm done playing. I've done this for 30 minutes. I don't want to do the same thing again.
But one of the things about Shadow of Mordor, it's... Sure, the gameplay is repetitive, but there's something like... For example, when you beat an enemy, for example, there's this long thing you have to do for, like, the War Chiefs. Or not necessarily long, but you always have to do something for the War Chiefs, and it's related to what their specialty is. One guy specializes in, basically... He says that he can kill anyone and stuff like that. So what you have to do is you have to, you have to kill a certain, I think it's like 20 of his people without taking a single hit. And then he finally shows up and just like, if they can't do it, I will.
That makes sense.
But if he kills you, because he did kill me, because he landed one hit on me and it was over, and I was like, okay, buddy.
I see how this is.
It was just like, but he stayed, and he was actually celebrating my death.
Was he teabagging?
No, he was like, what he was doing is just like basically bragging and walking around the camp and stuff. And like, I actually attacked him while he was bragging, but I forgot to look at his stuff because one of the things is can't be damaged by stealth, and then he actually hurts me in response for it. So what I did is I tried to aerial assassinate him. He caught me, put me on the ground, and just went. And I was like, ow!
So, backstabs, right? Darkness Rising. The backstab. Trying to backstab a book. You can't backstab a book. It has a spine, doesn't it?
It has no discernible vital spot. It has a spine, doesn't it?
And then he gets a nat 1 and stabs himself. It's like a best death ever.
But, yeah,
I think I'm going to watch the third one tonight. I want to watch it again. It's such a good movie.
His weakness was that he was not immune to combat finishers, meaning...
You're not tangenting enough.
Okay, sorry. I was just really happy about that game. It's
there are points in this podcast where we did do a bunch of talking about stuff. When I interrupt you and do that, I'm just trying to set it off on a tangent.
I like the fact that we find like areas where we stick and then it goes off.
Well, yeah, but I don't think we should stick to it too long. I think we should like have that would be fun. We should get like a stopwatch that we start whenever we do a new conversation. Mm-hmm. And if it goes to 5 minutes, we have to change it immediately.
Sure. Want to go buy a stopwatch?
I've got one on my phone.
No, a real stopwatch because it'd be more fun.
Besides, this right now is just a tangent. And now you don't even remember what you're talking about.
I do remember what I was talking about, but...
Shut up.
So video games in general.
Yay or nay?
Yay! But,
PC Master Race? No, I'm joking.
PC, no Master Race.
Well, no, there's no such thing as Master Race. Unless you're white.
So, like, a few seconds ago, well, not long from now, I'm going to be recording Dragon Age Inquisition. Not long ago, I was playing the multiplayer. The multiplayer is strange. Is it
Last of Us multiplayer?
No, it's, you have 4 people, you cooperate to complete objectives.
Two Worlds 2?
Yeah. But,
not as linear, I assume?
No.
It didn't look like it. It looked pretty open world.
It looked open. It may have looked open, but if you actually look at the map, it's pretty much doing that thing where it's like a whole bunch of ways to get right here.
So, Two Worlds 2.
Yeah.
Which, the cave was the linear one. I think everything else had like at least a couple different paths. But the cave was just the same path for the entire thing.
Yeah, the cave was just like...
You go here, and there's a tunnel, and here's an open area, and there's one tunnel out of here, and you just keep going.
Options. None of them. But, yeah. Speaking of options, what do you think of option menus?
I thought we were going to go into movie options.
Options? What do you mean?
That is like... A movie option is when a script basically gets reviewed to become a movie and decided if it wants to become a movie. It's more popular when it happens with books. Like right now, The House of the Scorpion, which is one of my favorite books of all time, is in a movie option. So the developers and Nancy Farmer, the author, are talking about and looking at the book and seeing how to turn it into a script to see if it would make a good movie, see if they can pass it off as a movie and create a movie. That's what a movie option is. So you hear rumors about some movies being created, like Batman vs. Superman, which is coming out next year. Like, I'm going to go off on a tangent right now, because one of my favorite things, superhero movies in general. Marvel, DC, and Warner Brothers. They schedule movies so far ahead of time. Like, they know what they're making, and they make it no matter what. And they schedule their movies, exact release date and everything. Sometimes don't disclose the movie, but they will say, we're releasing a movie on this date so no one else steals it. Marvel has movies going through 2025 right now. DC has movies going to 2021, and Warner Bros. Has it to like 2016, or not 2016, to like 2019 right now. Like, what was it? The Justice League movie comes out on February 23rd, 2019.
Okay.
They just scheduled all of that. They were like, okay, here's this, here's this, here's this. Don't take my date or I'm going to fuck you up.
You want to fight?
That is like my favorite thing ever, though. Just like getting to know when all these great movies are going to come out. Ant-Man comes out in a couple years too, which
Ant-Man?
no one knows about. Yep, it's a Marvel hero.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Can turn into the size of an ant while possessing human strength.
That... What?
Yeah, it sounds stupid, right? But if you look at it, Guardians of the Galaxy sounds stupid. But it turned out to be one of everyone's favorite
What is it?
things.
I haven't actually watched it.
Guardians of the Galaxy is basically a bunch of misfits, which include a tree, a raccoon with a rocket that uses guns, some retarded guy. I can't remember what the last one is.
Star Fox 64.
Yeah, Star Fox. And Star Fox. So you've got a tree, a raccoon, a retarded guy, and Star Fox. And they just go around and save the world. Or the universe, I'm sorry.
I can't drink this juice pouch.
Yeah, that's one of my least favorite things. You have to blow into it, because you cut off the suction, so now you have to lift it and drink it. Describing how to do this stuff.
This honestly doesn't taste that good.
I thought it was... It's a Sunny... Or not a Sunny D. It's a...
Capri Sun?
No, because that is a registered trademark of Capri Sun. It's a drink that is from a lot of people's childhood. And it tastes just like it.
Are you going to censor me?
Yes.
You're going to go through and edit it out.
No, it is a... it tastes just like it did when you would like pull it out of the refrigerator wherever you guys would keep it. But you actually can drink it now. So I guess you didn't like that drink.
Mm-mm. I never really got into it.
I love them. I mean, they're not something I like to drink a lot, but they're pretty good. So I liked the pouch. I really did.
So, pouches. Kangaroos have pouches.
Kangaroos do have pouches. Did you know all kangaroos are dolphins in disguise?
What?
That, I can't believe I remember that. That is something in 4th grade, we had to write a creative story or a poem or something. And I just started writing about how kangaroos were actually dolphins in disguise. Because I was bored and wanted to.
I just realized there's a much easier way to drink this.
Yeah.
Instead of sucking on it, just tilt it.
Yes. That's what I just told you to do.
I wasn't listening, I'm sorry.
But yeah, so all kangaroos are dolphins in disguise. What do you have to say about that?
I have to say kittens and cereal. I had to write a story about that. Because in...
No, Luca, no?
That was before that came out. I did it first. But what happened was I was in 5th grade. It was 5th grade. I said I could write a story about anything. And I meant it. Like, I meant I could write a story about anything. And people were giving me requests and stuff. And basically what I'd do is I'd take the request, write a story about it, next day come back and give it to them. And one of them was just like, I have a request for you. I was like, okay, what? And he was like, because like I guess he didn't really have an idea, so he was just kind of like, when I actually said, okay, go, he was just like, kittens and cereal. I was like, oh, okay.
So what was your story?
It was so messed up. It was basically about this, because he never, I always said that as long as you don't give me restrictions, if you're going to give me restrictions, make sure you tell me. But, of course I was younger then, so I didn't actually say restrictions. That's a big word.
Yeah, that's a big word.
But, it was, basically I wrote about this, it was like a kingdom kind of thing. And they were straight up cats. Like, it wasn't like anthropomorphic, no, it was just straight up cats that could talk and wield swords for some reason.
What's that one series called that Josh likes? They're like cat...
Warriors?
Yeah, so it's that.
Kind of.
But with cereal.
But basically, it was a giant... It was the evil wizard milk. It was literally a jug of milk that was evil.
Why would that be
and a
evil?
wizard.
They would love milk. I think the cats are evil. They want
Or
to
no,
want to take this nice wizard guy out of his home and just start eating him.
The milk stole their cereal. They stole the cereal from the treasury.
I think it would have been better if it was a cereal that stole the milk.
No,
Because milk is
because
something
what
cats
happened
like.
at the end?
I don't see cats liking. I'm critiquing your 5th grade story.
What happened? Like how it ended. The prince or whatever, I think, he fought the evil wizard, but they both lost basically. And what ended up happening was he ended up basically with his last breath, he basically knocked over the giant cereal box, so the cereal went everywhere, and he slayed the milk or whatever, and so milk went everywhere too. So the kittens feasted on milk and cereal. It was so weird.
Okay, so we started off talking about Death Note.
Did we?
Yes.
Is that really the first subject?
Yep.
I don't even...
You said the letter L, and we started talking about L and the horrible movie. I think that was the first topic. I think that's something we should do to end everyone, because we are ending now. It has been an hour.
Recap?
Yeah. I don't think recap... Like, if we can find a trail, if we can do a trail to see how we got to it, that'd be cool. But I just want to see that we started with Death Note and got to a story about milk and milk and cats.
Please, when you look at the footage, there was definitely my health bar was gold the whole time. It was gold the whole time.
I forgot about that. I looked at it and it changed colors. I swear, it was blue and then it flashed to gold and it confused me.
No, yours is blue, I think.
No, mine was blue the entire time. Yeah, I know.
Mine gold the entire time.
I swear, it might have been gold most of the time. It could have been gold all the time. Except for one moment. Because I looked at it and it was blue and flashed to gold.
Are you sure you just you didn't swap ours for some reason?
It might have. But I swear to God. It changed.
I guess we should end. Thank you all for listening if you stayed for this long.
Yeah, this is Tangent.
Tangent?
What?
Tangent Podcast?
Yeah, Tangent. A podcast where we don't give a shit. So, thank you. And if you want to hear more, we're probably going to do this on a weekly basis as long as school isn't mean to us.
Subscribble.
Yeah, subscribble. We are probably just going to put random gameplay footage. I think next week we might just do... what was that game called? Castlevania HD. Yeah, because I have a bunch of sub footage, and I think it'd be better to record live commentary on that. So we'll redo it. But thank you for watching. Or listening. Thank you. Goodbye.